Got a great crowd tonight. Thank you guys for being here. So I call this meeting of Magnolia Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present and that this meeting has been duly called, and notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with Texas Open Meeting Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. So if everybody would please stand, Jay's going to lead us in our invocation.
As has been a long-standing tradition in the district, we'd like to take a minute to just thank God for what He does here in the district. Dear Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to meet tonight to discuss the business of the district, to thank you for providing safe passage to all those who arrive here tonight and providing safe passage for them to get home, for protecting our kids while they're in school, for the wonderful school resource officers and constables that work every day to keep our kids safe. We thank you for the wisdom, the discernment that you give us as board members and leaders and administrators and teachers to just lead and guide this district for the benefit of the community and the students, to keep us focused on our mission of making Magnolia School District the best district it can possibly be. And most of all, dear Lord, we thank you for the sacrifice of your Son, Jesus. In His name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. So if Giovanna and JT could come up here. JT's going to lead us in our U.S. pledge, and then Giovanna's going to lead us in our Texas pledge. Please, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you both very much. JT, if you'll have a seat for just a minute, Giovanna, you can stay up here with us.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Dr. Bullock, Mr. Blizzard, and members of the school board for having us tonight and for creating space in every single board meeting for us to recognize our students. Students are the reason why we as educators get up and do what we do every single day. It is my absolute privilege to introduce to you all tonight our Nichols Sawmill Elementary Student of the Month, Giovanna Molina, though most of us know her as Gia. Here to support her tonight are her parents, Manuel and Barbara Molina, all three of her teachers, our administrative team, our counselor, academic coordinator, and so many more Nichols Sawmill students, administrators, and staff. Gia is a fourth grade student at NSC and is a shining example of what it means to be an NSC Mustang. She embodies our core values, being prepared, safe, respectful, and responsible every single day. If you ask Gia which of these she models best, she would tell you that it's responsibility, and she has plenty of examples to back it up. Her teachers describe her as a student with exceptional work ethic, always dedicated to doing her best, and taking time to ensure that her work is high quality. She even comes into the library early in the mornings for our Name That Book team meetings, showing her commitment to learning and improving. Speaking of the library, Gia is not a visitor. She is a leader in our library. As a library ambassador, she helps organize books, supports younger students, and encourages a love for reading throughout our entire campus. She is in that Name That Book team, dedicating her mornings to prepare for the Battle of the Books competition coming this spring. She's already finished 10 to 11 books, and she's proven that dedication and perseverance will lead to success. We're going to take home the gold at that competition, okay? Academically, Gia excels in all of her subjects with a strong work ethic and even stronger commitment to personal growth. Her teachers described her as hardworking, kind, and always striving for excellence. But what stands out most is her kindness. Gia treats everyone, classmates, teachers, and staff, with empathy and respect. Her positive attitude and willingness to go the extra mile make NSC a better place. Outside of school, Gia's passion for learning continues. She dreams of becoming either a veterinarian or a photographer, two careers which combine her love of animals and her curiosity about the world. She plays piano, enjoys the outdoors, and cherishes her time with her family. Gia says her father would describe her as kind-hearted, while her mother sees her as a natural helper, especially when it comes to her younger brother, Andreas. Gia, we're so proud of you. Your hard work, leadership, and kindness make you truly deserving of this honor. On behalf of Nichols Sawmill Elementary, congratulations on being our Student of the Month. We cannot wait to see what incredible things you will accomplish.
Dr. Bullock, Mr. Blizzard, members of the board, thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. Magnolia High School's February Student of the Month is one senior JT Chappell. He has been a dedicated student at Magnolia ISD since he started at Parkway Elementary as a first grader. Spent a couple of years there, and then he traveled across the district to, interesting fact, begin Nichols Sawmill with my wife in her first year as principal, and then he finishes Mag High with me in my last year as principal. Hey, I forgot to tell you, you're my last Student of the Month. How about that? Yep. JT's joined tonight by several members of his family, Miss Renee Baggett, Brooke Chappell, Brad Chappell, Tammy Chappell, Jamie Chappell, Zoe Chappell, and Ava Chappell. And Mom would be here, except she's in Hawaii. Yeah, I wish we were there. Several of his coaches and mentors, Mr. Slode, Miss Cantu, are both here. Then some members of our leadership team are here as well. JT is an outstanding young man. Top 10% in his class, highly competitive academically, involved in National Honor Society as the treasurer, involved in the academic decathlon team, won a gold medal at the regional academic decathlon meet. But here's the cool thing about JT. When I said, hey, JT, what is it that you do? He's like, you know, I just love to meet people. That was his answer. I love being a sacker at HEB because of all the new people that I get to meet. I've met like 20 new friends this year in school. This young man in the first semester of his senior year raised his rank 14 places, right? 14 places. That's in the 7th semester where moves don't occur. And he's put himself firmly into the top 10, so he'll be one of those first 50-something names that's announced at graduation. And he's very proud of that. JT found out late last week. It was going to say he's waiting to hear from the University of Texas, but he found out late last week that he's been put into the CAP program. And he'll be attending University of Texas at San Antonio, where he'll study business analytics. JT's teachers said some of these things about him. They used these words and phrases: positive attitude, contagious, eager, kindness, humility, ability to connect, an encourager, and caring. He is a pleasure to work alongside and just plain fun to teach. He is a wonderful human. We talk about elevating character to enrich our community at Mag High. And if there's a picture of what that looks like, I would say it is JT Chappell. We are honored to be here tonight and recognize you as the February Student of the Month. Congratulations, JT.
Good job. Gia, this is for you. Congratulations. This one's for you. Congratulations. You know, we just appreciate these guys, and this is one of our favorite parts of the evening where we get to do recognitions. And the cool thing is we can, since he's so personable and loves to meet and talk with people, we can hear what he's going to do as he goes forward. And we get to hear from Gia for several more years as she goes forward. But what you guys may not know, as Mr. Quinn just said, we do one person per campus per year. And you're the guy from Magnolia High, so you represent your campus, and you represent Nichols Sawmill. So each school only has one per year, so you're in thin air. So congratulations to you guys. Let's give them a hand. Great job, guys. We appreciate you. Congratulations. And we want to thank America's ER for their support of our Students of the Month. So thank you very much. Okay, I think you're up next, Dr. Garza.
All right, Mr. Blizzard, Dr. Bullock, members of the board, it is my pleasure to present tonight the February Teacher of the Month. Our winner this month is Miss Katie Fellers from Nichols Sawmill Elementary. Katie is in her 5th year in education, 3rd year in the district, and this year she made the big jump. She switched from 1st grade RLA to 4th grade, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but in our world, that's a huge deal. So I asked my department about some feedback about what she's been doing, and I got a very long text full of all this jargon, and at the bottom it said, she's absolutely killing it. So, Ms. Fellers, thank you for killing it for us each and every day.
Well, and that's exactly what, he kind of took some of the wind out of my sails, but it's fine. So, Miss Fellers, it's been fun because last year she was in 1st grade. She was self-contained, meaning she was just with her kids all day, and now we ask her to step up into 4th grade, teach only reading language arts to multiple kids, 2 sets of kids, and you've done an incredible job. You're a leader on your team, not just on your 4th grade team, but throughout the school, and I'm just so thankful that you represent us here tonight for Nichols Sawmill Elementary, so thank you.
I think that from the minute I stepped foot in my elementary school, I wanted to be a teacher. I felt that calling my whole life. It's funny, I can't really remember middle school or high school as well as I can elementary school. It's just a fun experience, and it's a different world in elementary compared to other schools. And I just had the most fun, and you're able to have that like creativity and build real good relationships with students is what I love, with younger students. I hope that I am able to make learning fun for them, and they just remember, my goal is of course to teach them the academics that they need to know, but to make it memorable and fun. I try to keep up with the 4th graders' lingos that they use. Some of it is extra silly, but they think that it's just hilarious and funny when I can relate to them that way. So I try to incorporate those things like in our gradings and stuff. If they're masters, they're Sigma level, and if they meet their mid-level, and all the funny little things that they do, and they just think that it's hilarious, and I try to tie that in, and it makes it really relatable for them, and they can connect with it and want to do well because they want to get those titles. I'm hoping that they love the relationships that they build, the friendships that they build, that they just make good core memories, that it wasn't just, 4th grade reading passages, getting ready for STAR test, but it was learning was fun and purposeful. If they leave my class knowing that I loved and cared for them, and they're able to show that love and care towards other people, then I've done what I've been called to do. Push through the hard stuff, because anyone who's a teacher knows that it can be hard, but the reward is so much greater than any of the difficulties, any of the challenges. Just being there for a kid, seeing those aha moments, seeing them reach their full potential or finally understand something that took them so long to understand, that's what makes it worth it.
Good evening, board, and Dr. Bullock, thank you for allowing us to be a part of tonight. Good evening, everyone. My name is Becca Henry, and I am the president of Magnolia Education Foundation. We are honored to be a proud sponsor of the district's Teacher of the Month recognition program. Ms. Fellers, thank you for being a loving and devoted teacher. Your dedication and encouragement for your students is truly inspiring. You are invaluable not only to your school and students, but to the entire Magnolia ISD community. Thank you for choosing this career and being so passionate about your students' education. We are truly grateful for educators like you.
Congratulations. We appreciate all you do. We appreciate you. That's where the real fun happens.
So another thing that Magnolia Education Foundation does is we award grants. We partner with community members and businesses to raise funds that we give back to amazing teachers that apply with some innovative and creative ideas. And those are called grants. And last week, we had the opportunity to go across the district and surprise these teachers and celebrate them and honor them with being grant winners. I would like to take a moment and thank Robbie Yeatman and Brandon Thomas for all of their hard work that they put into organizing our grant committee and helping us with recognizing these teachers. So right now, I'm going to have Robbie and some of our committee members come up. This is Robbie Yeatman. She is our chair of our grant committee. Robbie is a former elementary school teacher, so her passion for grants truly shines through in everything that she does for this grant committee, and we really appreciate her. But I'm going to turn it over to her to tell a little bit more about these amazing teachers.
Thank you, Becca. I'm Robbie Yeatman, and I serve as grant chair. I know Becca already told you that, for the Magnolia Education Foundation. MEF is here tonight to first and foremost thank all of the incredible educators who took the time, energy, and heart to submit a grant proposal this year. Stepping forward with an idea to enhance the educational experience for students is something every applicant should be proud of. Whether or not funding is granted, pun intended, applying in itself shows an elevated commitment to students, a passion for education, and an eagerness for opportunities to engage learners. So before we recognize the 2024-2025 Magnolia Education Foundation grant winners, we want to again thank all who took a chance and shared their ideas with us. All applicants go through several layers of evaluation, including campus principal approval, district level discussions, technology department review, and a rigorous grant scoring panel. And each of the grant recipients presented proposals that were not only clear and measurable, but also practical and attainable. They demonstrated the ability to go beyond traditional methods of teaching to foster higher level thinking, engage students creatively, and offer hands-on innovative experiences. These recipients showcased a genuine passion for their projects while remaining mindful of the budget, ensuring that their ideas will make a lasting impact on our students. So without further ado, please forgive me if I butcher any names. But as I call your name, if you'll just come up and join us and stay up here, and then when we're done, we'll take a group picture, okay? All right, from Nichols Sawmill Elementary, Abigail Thompson. Val Engelkey. Kelly Blum. She's sick. Debbie Durden. From Magnolia West High School, Angela Rohde. Sorry, I forget y'all are right here. I like this little reserved seating area. Kelly Hallenquist. Sylvia Garcia. Olivia Enberg. From Bear Branch Elementary, Jordan Ziders. From Bear Branch Junior High, Shay Wen. From Audubon Elementary School is Dana Paskett. And again, is it Dana or Dana? Dana? Okay, good. Dana Paskett, a second winner, a second-time winner, two-time winner. From Magnolia Intermediate School, Catherine Schindler. Lauren Clark. Brittany Matos. And Matthew Wright. And then from Magnolia High School, Jolinda McGrath, Misty Thompson, Albert Vila III, Adrian Woodard, Andrew Vowell, Veronica Easton, Nadine Hadley, and Nicole Zink. Thank you very much for not only applying, but just going above and beyond and just having the heart and the I don't know, just, yeah, the heart and the passion. I didn't want to sound cliche, but it's more than that, isn't it? Like, passion just does not do it credit, because it's a lot more than that. It's with everything that you are, that you do. I know I was there for 15 years, and I just really appreciate you going above and beyond for your kids. Okay? Y'all are killing it. Y'all are Sigma. Okay. Okay. Do what?
Thank you, teachers, for applying, and congratulations once again. We cannot wait to see everything that you do for your students and your campus, and we are excited to come back and see what you have done and implemented these grants. We are super excited. Again, these teachers went out on a limb to apply for this, and we are just so excited for them to win this. Can we go ahead and give them one more round of applause?
Okay, let's give them another round of applause. We so appreciate, we're huge fans of teachers up here. We so appreciate everything you guys do. And on top of that, we appreciate what MEF does. Otherwise, we couldn't have done what we did just now. So thank you guys for all your hard work. Okay, Ms. Gallimore and Mr. Addison, you guys are on deck, I think.
We are so excited. If I could get all the science fair students to come up over here on this side. I'm Cherie Gallimore. I'm your science director for the district. And I just want to, Dr. Bullock, Mr. Blizzard, board members, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to showcase these students. And they have done some amazing work. This year's science fair was one of the largest science fairs that we've had. And these are the first and second place winners from the science fair. Y'all come over here and scoot in some. Y'all can make two lines. We want everyone to see how awesome y'all are. Okay, so every year we hold a science fair, and Mr. Addison is so kind, and he donates money for us to give the first place and second place winners a Chromebook. So I'm gonna go get the Chromebooks while he gives a little fill-in about, gives us a little time about why he does what he does.
My name is Glenn Addison. My wife Lori and I own Magnolia Funeral Home, which is just down from St. Matthias Catholic Church in Magnolia. And so I grew up in this district, and it is amazing. I have to tell you, if you haven't been here long, you just can't believe how far this district has come. When I first went into a classroom in August of 1972 as a sixth grader at what is currently Williams Elementary, that was before all the modern buildings were built. It was a piece of work. It was an old school, part of it burned down after, anyway. But it's night and day difference between what the students have to work with today versus then. I ran track, and I ran hurdles. The maintenance department made the hurdles out of 1x4s and galvanized pipe. So you did not want to hit the hurdle. There's more incentive, okay? It was the city of Magnolia was so poor, there was not even a sewer system. So if the soccer ball went too far toward this part of the field, you didn't want to have to go over there and get it because it was a septic system line. It was a lot different than now, okay? And what strides this district has made, and it gives me great joy to see it. I graduated from Magnolia High School when it was still in downtown Magnolia in 1979. And so I have a great love for this community and a great love for the district. And when Dr. Bullock and I sat down about 13 years ago, we were trying to figure it out. I said, I just gotten off the board, and I said, I want to do something that every student has an opportunity or possibility of winning. Because, you know, I'm an underdog in my business, and I always root for underdogs, okay? And some kids don't test well. And I wanted to have something that every student could possibly win the award, regardless of their rank, how they do on testing. And so we talked about this, and that every single district or every single student in the district could participate if they wanted to, and therefore could win. And so I said, this is what I want to do. And so Lori and I have done it faithfully, and we're thankful to the Lord that we can continue it. Already gave a check tonight for next year's Chromebooks, so we're good for one more year, whether I'm around or not. But it makes me feel good to see these good things being given to you hardworking students. I'm proud of you, each and every one of you. I've heard some great things about your projects, and it's my honor to present these to you tonight, okay?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to hold your applause until we get all of them over here on the side, and then we'll give one big round of applause. Okay, in the category of microbiology, we have Adelie Ocoin. Come on over. Nathan Mendoza. I'm not sure if some people snuck in or not, so I'm going to say everyone's name. Chloe Anderson in the category of chemistry, and Haley Armstrong. In the category of engineering and energy, we have Emily Weston and Hunter Birch. In the category of physics, we have Eric Betancourt and Madison Williams. In the category of plant science, we have Luke Lindsay and Ellie Heffernan. In the category of medicine and health, we have Brianna Scott and Alexi Figueroa. In the category of animal science, we have Jada Thompson and Josh Jerbecka. In the category of behavior and social science, we have Ellie Thompson and Adelie Villarreal. Sorry, apologize for that. All right, give them one big round of applause.
So we want to say congratulations again to all these hard workers that did what they did, but we also want to thank the young man walking in the blue jacket there that just spoke to you, Mr. Addison. He's not only does what he does, he's done it for over 10 years for our kiddos. And on top of that, he served on our school board for a number of years, and we're working hard to fill his shoes, which is not an easy thing to do. But we just want to appreciate you for everything you do for us every year. Thank you.
Hang on, Glenn. Before you head off,
Go
if
ahead.
someone could catch Glenn.
Come back in here.
Hey, Glenn, I just wanted to say thank you to you and Lori both for supporting our kids, and for 12 or 13 years ago, I don't think we could remember exactly how many years, but in that ballpark, the conversation you and I had back then about you wanting to play a role in supporting something special for kids here in this district. And Glenn, I just want to publicly say thank you to you and Lori, and like Mr. Blizzard said, for over 10 years of supporting a wonderful program like this. Congratulations to the kids who did all the hard work. And Glenn, thank you to you. Cherie, appreciate your leadership with the science fair as well. And what a great thing for kids. Glenn, thank you to you and Lori.
And if our students get a chance to thank him before in the next week or so, that'd be great too. Thank you very much. So, Dr. King, I think you're up next. We got a crew of fine folks in here.
Mr. Blizzard, Dr. Bullock, thank you for having us tonight. It's a special night, and we're kind of in advance of a really special day. I believe February 15th is National SRO Appreciation Day. But seeing as we have a school board meeting before that, we decided to go ahead and recognize and appreciate them tonight. But you know, our SROs come to work every day at each one of our campuses. With the main goal of keeping our students safe. We talk about our students, but they're there for our teachers. They're there for you if you walk in that building, right? They help direct traffic and respond to any kind of emergencies. And they do a wonderful job at that. And I've had the opportunity to work on a campus with these SROs, and they are visible on our campuses. They take their job very, very seriously. And I'm glad that, I don't know how long ago it was, Dr. Bullock, that the school board decided to put an SRO on every single one of our campuses long before the state ever made that a requirement. And so we're so glad to have them. One of the things that I know that they do, and then if you've ever been in our schools, you know this too, is that they're here to keep us safe, but they're there to build a relationship with our kids and our community members, and to show them that, you know, it doesn't have to be a scary thing when someone with a badge and a gun walks up, that they're on your side, and they're here to help make this community go just like anyone else. And again, I know Constable Jones has done a great job of developing that culture within the SROs, and they carry that out every single day. And so it couldn't be more of my pleasure than to stand up here and appreciate these ladies and gentlemen for all the work that they do to keep our kids safe. So, but before that, I wanted to let Constable Jones say a few things about his team. Constable Jones.
Thank you, sir. Thank the school board for having us out tonight. The relationship between Precinct 5 and Magnolia ISD started back in 1996. So we're going on 28 years of having officers inside the school. Back then, it was one deputy assigned to Bear Branch Junior High over there. Magnolia PD took care of the schools that were inside the city. It soon went to 4 constables spread out throughout the district, then to 8, then to 20. 2018, the school district, and their forward thinking, decided they wanted to put a deputy in every campus for Magnolia ISD, and they've continued to do that. Coming up, we have 2 more schools opening up next year. There'll be 1 there too. So we want to thank y'all for the great relationship we've always had with Magnolia ISD. So, and keep it up. These men and women get up every morning and they come to protect anybody that comes inside that school. So we want to appreciate y'all and thank y'all for having us out tonight. Thank you.
We thank you guys. There's nothing we take more seriously than security, and there's no group of people that do a finer job than these guys and gals over here. So we always like to say thank you for your service, and that doesn't do it justice, but thank you. Thank you so much.
Chris, thank you to you and your guys. You said it really well a minute ago. There's a special relationship between Precinct 5 of the Constable's Office under your leadership, Chris, and the school district, and it's been that way for a long time. People talk about some of the things that make our school district a special place, and that group of people that you saw just standing up in front of you is a big part of that. So Chris, Chad, Kim, and Lieutenant Carley, appreciate the leadership you guys provide to this group, and so glad to have you a part of what we do here at Magnolia ISD. Thank you.
Okay, well, we're going to invite you guys to stick around for the business section of the meeting tonight, but if you're so inclined to duck out a little bit early, now would be a good time to do it. We're going to take a 5-minute break. Thank you. Okay, thank you. We're back. Ms. Hinkleman, anybody signed up to speak that we don't know about? No, sir. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Bruner, I think you're up next.
All right, good evening. I just want to bring you quickly up to date on where we're at with construction for the 22 bond. And things are moving pretty quickly. Essentially, I'll just bring you up to date on the JROTC building. We got the fire marshal inspection completed last week. We also got the fire marshal inspection completed on the new event building. So those two ground up projects are complete. That leaves us down to Parkway Junior High, which we're still on schedule for a May delivery. You can see the progress since last month. The artificial turf field has been installed at the football stadium, so you can see in these aerials. The landscaping projects have started, so we're hitting it at the right time of year to get everything well established by the time August rolls around. It's the main canopy, the main entry. You know, I have this picture every month just to see the progress, because this has been quite a project in itself, this canopy. But it's a really inviting main entrance. You see the main corridor. Finishes are going fast and furious on the walls and ceilings, and we've started the flooring installations, and that's pretty much what we're down to. This is a shot of the library. Again, the carpet installation is going to begin in the next couple of weeks. But this is a section of the building that's essentially complete. We're going through all of the testing of all of our life safety systems. It's a shot of the cafeteria with the wood flooring that's going in. Shot of the gymnasium. This is the comp gym, which again, wood flooring going in and acoustical panels. Shot of the band hall. Again, wall and ceiling finishes are essentially complete. You see all the band storage that's been installed. It's just down to flooring. They have started the flooring in the classroom wing, and they'll work their way from that across the building. And so you can see here's a shot of a science lab with the LVT flooring installed and a typical classroom. And this is where we're down to putting up marker boards, tack boards, just really finalizing this project. And also I threw in some pictures of the event building, which we hope to be using very soon. We did, again, the fire marshal signed off on it last week. And this is a shot of the interior space. The floor has been ground and it's yet to be polished, but I think that's supposed to happen tomorrow. So that's it. We're just moving along pretty quickly. We're kind of winding this down. Any questions? Maybe right before we start winding it up. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Good job. Okay, now we've got our consent agenda, and this consists of routine items that we're going to enact with one motion unless we need separate discussion or questions. Does anybody have any questions about the items in the consent agenda? Everybody good? All right, we need a motion to approve this. Motion by Sonia, seconded by Stacia. All in favor? That motion passes. Thank you. Dr. Key, I think you're next to talk about our calendar.
Yeah, I asked him not to walk off with the clicker there. So, well, good evening. So yeah, I'm here to talk about recommendation for a school calendar for next year. It's a annual thing we typically do here in the February board meeting, and so I'll get on with it here. So, just to start off with a little bit of maybe just process with the calendar. So, traditionally, the calendar has been developed with the advice and guidance of what's called the District Education Improvement Committee. So those are composed of members from campus and district level, professional staff, parents, businesses, and the community. The staff members are actually nominated and elected by their peers for representation, and they serve 2-year terms. And of course, they assist in one of the big ones is the development of the annual improvement plan, but also the school calendar. So here's a campus staff, and I asked them to be here, and if they don't mind, if you'll just stand up and wave real quick if you were on the District Education Improvement Committee. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So, teachers, campus administrators come together to try to give us their perspective on what kind of calendar would work for them at the campus level. And then we have our district staff and community members. So there on the left, minus my name, would be our parents, Mr. Hefner there with HEB and some community members. And on the right is our district level members. So we kind of start planning around October, and we meet October through January typically. And it's a process that starts off with just looking at the calendar from this year and dissecting that and getting feedback on what was good and what was not. And then we kind of go through some parameters. So you'll see one there, it's a big one. It really drives a lot of our calendar, and it's a state requirement to have 75,600 instructional minutes. We have 435 minutes in our school day. And so if you look at that last bullet point, we want to have 3 days in reserve for inclement weather, and we have already experienced some of that this year with some of the ice and weather we experienced in January. But typically, over the last few years, 172 instructional days have given us enough minutes to meet the 75,600 minute requirement and also give us enough days in reserve in case of inclement weather. So on top of that, our teacher feedback is to start no sooner than August 1st. And we like to get our students' last day in before Memorial Day. Another big driver is our teachers need to work 187 days per their contract. And then beyond that, we like to balance the semesters. We want to maximize professional development, minimize long stretches without a break. So those are really the parameters we go into in the developing the calendar. And so I know you guys have seen the calendar and you've got it there. So I won't go month by month, but this is just a kind of a summation of holidays and breaks in professional development. Pretty traditional there with the breaks. Fall break, we've been living here for a couple of years. You get down to spring break, that's March 9th through the 13th. I think that aligns with A&M's spring break. I try to look to see if some colleges that are around us or universities that are around us that we can try to align our spring break with theirs. I can't align it to every university because some are the week before that and some are the 9th through the 13th, but we did our best there. And you can see Memorial Day is the 25th, and we'll have graduation on that weekend. Professional development there at the top. I don't know if you guys recall, but we have to get a little creative sometimes with our professional development in order to make sure our teachers get to that 187-day mark in their contract. So July 30th through August 1st, we have what's called trade-out days. And so those are days where teachers can basically have a choice. They can come into work on their campus and they can work in their room, which is something that's pretty typical for teachers to do. And I had to tell our elementary teachers that yes, even our secondary folks might come in for a day, maybe half a day, to get the room ready, where a lot of times the elementary teachers are spending a lot more time than that. And so it's a good thing because they would be there anyway, but now they get credit for those days. If they're not there on those days, then they have the option to come to professional development over the summertime, again, to meet the 187-day trade-out days. Last year, we put trade-out days at the very end of our calendar, and this year we're able to put it on the front end, again, to honor some of that time that they spend in their classroom at the very beginning of the year. A week for professional development for in-service. You'll notice September 19th, I didn't put a day next to that, but we typically have a PD day in September. It's normally on a Monday. But we made September 19th, that's a Friday. That's also the week of our livestock show. So we're still having a PD day there in September, but we did slide it to Friday because obviously we want to give our teachers the opportunity to participate in professional development, but we have many of them that are participating in our livestock show, and this will give them a little flexibility to do that without having to take a sub for the day or run out on their conference period. They can go and enjoy those festivities or participate any way they want to. And then again, I always like to point out the rest of our professional development days are pretty standard. We still have the November 3rd and 4th, which are election days, which we've for the last few years especially had both of those days as PD days as one's an election day. So that's holidays and breaks and professional development. And then here's the calendar. Any questions?
More of a comment. I really appreciate the beginning of your presentation. I get asked that question all the time, who makes the calendar? And I know that and often pass it on to people, but it's nice to see it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
For that committee.
So was there anything that was the slightest bit contentious?
I wouldn't say contentious.
Or maybe that's a bad word.
I'd say there's lively
Debate?
conversation, especially in the beginning, and some debate. You know, when you look at our when you start putting parameters on it and say, hey, teachers don't, hey, we really would rather not come back to work in July, and then when you say, okay, we think it's not a great thing for us to have graduation and then bring students back. Once you do that, you don't have a ton of time there in the middle to start sorting out PD and breaks and all those other kinds of things if we want to keep the breaks that we traditionally have in there. So once we kind of get past that and everybody starts seeing it, we work together and try to take as much input as we can, and then everybody kind of comes around and nods their head and say, yeah, we're good with this. The trade-out days was actually, I don't remember exactly, I can't give them credit, but someone threw that out there to say, hey, why can't we put those at the front to honor the fact that we have a lot of teachers come in before they're supposed to be at work anyway. So that was a really good idea that came from the conversations that we had.
Cool.
Yeah. What else? Okay, so this is an action item, and so it is our recommendation from the DEIC that the board vote to approve. This is our 2025-2026 school calendar.
So if there's no more questions, everybody good? We need a motion to approve that, as Dr. King said. Motion by David, seconded by Jordan. All in favor? And motion passes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And you can carry on, I think.
Yes. Policy update. So there is really not a lot to this policy update, and that's I'm told, sort of new to the policy updates, but I'm told this is a pretty typical update to get in February, January, February. It doesn't feel like it. Sort of I knew a new session is already in session, but we're kind of on the tail end of the other one. It kind of lasted along with all the special sessions, and so really it's just a lot of housekeeping issues here that come out of some legal policies. Don't fret, because I would imagine at the end of this next legislative session there is going to be lots and lots of policies to sit and talk about and hash through. But really, a lot of housekeeping here. If there's one that I really maybe just kind of wanted to point out, it's EHBB local with special programs, gifted and talented students. So there was some language that put in that said districts will spend 100% of the funds that they get to educate gifted and talented students on gifted and talented students in the programs that serve them. And really, more than anything, maybe it's just a little opportunity to brag or kind of a shout out to Miss Wood and her crew, and Miss Weatherby in the business office that I was like, hey, so are we good there? Like, yeah. You know, we do a really good job of making sure that the money we get for gifted and talented students and their education go back into the classrooms and in programs to serve those students. So that was good news, but really that's all I have as far as a policy update goes. Happy to answer any questions, but this is, again, just for a review. There's no action needed tonight for this. Any questions?
One thing I saw was pretty neat from a business background is the IP, the intellectual property. If it's developed here, it stays here.
That's
so
right.
That's good.
Yes, sir. I saw that too. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Okay, Dr. Morris, you're next, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Blizzard, members of the board, good evening. If I could add just quickly, it's based on the amount of funding that we receive for GT students, it's not hard to spend 100%. I say that jokingly, but it's just something we deal with, so anyhow, sorry.
Well said, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sorry. All right, so tonight, as the board is aware, part of normal business practices is to seek procurement for different goods and services really on a continual basis. So back in January, and I know the board is aware that we put this out on the street, we put out an RFQ, a request for qualifications for architect services. Had a lot of interest from folks, not surprising, given the size of our district and the, how quickly we're growing, amount of facilities that will be needed over the next however many years. We had 16 submissions from various architects across the state of Texas, which I think is even more than what we were likely anticipating, so that's a good thing. We created a selection committee, and narrowed it down to 4 architect firms to interview. We held interviews for basically an entire day one day, and are here tonight to make a recommendation to the board. Obviously, for selection criteria purposes, there's a myriad of things we look at, but the top 3, obviously, are quality of work, the overall amount and level of services provided, and of course, the all-important reference check. So tonight, we are recommending to the board sole architect award for RFQ purposes to VLK Architects. We've got a couple of gentlemen that I'll introduce in just a moment that are in the audience as well. You know, if you go across the state of Texas, you know, or let's say you don't have to travel too much. You're at Midwinter in Austin. You know, you ask any superintendent across the state of Texas and any operations person, you know, who's the best architect firm in the state of Texas, and probably 90% of the folks would give you the same answer, and that's VLK. Especially for fast growth districts, they work with many in the Houston area, some in the Dallas area as well. They work with Katy, they work with Cy-Fair. They did build, the recent Waller High School. And I think another thing that sort of sticks out about the group that we have here tonight, and I'll go ahead and introduce them. We have Mr. Todd Lean, who's here, and Mr. Charles Johnson. I think one of the unique things about these gentlemen is they live very nearby. Matter of fact, Mr. Lean lives in the school district. So he has an invested interest in what goes on here, and guys, I mean, we're simply stated super excited about working with this firm. I know they're ready to hit the ground running. They understand how quickly things are coming our way, and so anyhow, sorry, I'll be happy to answer any questions about the firm, but it is a unanimous recommendation that the board award this architect RFQ to VLK Architects.
Any questions up here? All right. Then you want to add any more before we take a motion here? You good?
Yes, sir, I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
We need a motion that we approve VLK Architects to provide architectural services for Magnolia ISD for any future construction projects based on their qualifications in accordance with Texas Government Code Chapter 2254. Motion by Stacia, seconded by David. All in favor? All right, that motion passes. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Bruner, I think you're coming back to join us.
Yes, I just have one item tonight that's kind of a housekeeping issue. Back last year, we'd approved the delivery method for the 2 CTE projects, which one at Mag High and one at Mag West, to BNC Constructors and to Stewart Builders. The project that was done at Magnolia West, the CTE HVAC building, tonight what I'm asking you to do is approve a deductive change order. This is just cleaning up the finances of this project. I'll actually be coming to you in the coming months with a number of these. But what we're asking for you tonight to approve a deductive change order of $131,844.54. Less the GMP that was $2,960,938.21 to a final total price of $2,829,093.67. So we're asking you to approve a deductive change order of $131,844.54. And that's essentially unused allowances that were built into the GMP. It's just money we didn't have to spend. It's usually a good thing.
It's always fun to have the decreases, and you promised a few more of those to come, right?
And I think we'll have similar news. I did.
You're kind of getting a reputation for this town. That's good. What questions we got? It's hard to be critical of this. All right, so if we don't have any questions, we need a motion to approve the final change order to decrease the GMP for CTE HVAC addition at Mag West High School by $131,844.54 for a total price of construction to be $2,829,093.67 as presented. Sonia motion, Jay seconds. All's in favor? Motion passes. Thank you, sir. Okay. You got any other loose ends?
That's it, sir.
All right. I know y'all were disappointed, but we're now going to move into recess to move into closed executive session for purposes permitted by A, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, evaluation and contract of superintendent. B, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.076, discuss summary of findings from recent intrusion detection audits. C, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney. D, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.072, discussion of purchase, sale, exchange, or value of real property. And finally, E, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, personnel discussion and recommendations. So thank you guys for being with us tonight. All right, thank you. We have one piece of business before we adjourn this meeting, and that is we need a motion that we approve and accept Superintendent Dr. Jason Bullock's employment contract beginning February 10th, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2028, along with other considerations discussed in our executive session. Motion by David, seconded by Stacia. All in favor? That motion passes. Now we need a motion to adjourn this meeting. Motion by Sonia, seconded by Jay. All in favor? Motion passes. Thank you.